guys, welcome to
the brand new podcast, Young and in Love.
Young and in Love.
This is the podcast, Young and in Love. Hello, young lovers, and welcome to another episode of Young and in Love. Young and in Love. Again, I'm Josh.
And I'm Taylor.
We're the Andersons. And this is Young and in Love. Young and in Love. Young and in Love.
Young and in Love.
This is Young and in Love. We're going to take a quick moment and highlight one of our sponsors, Anchor.
So if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let us explain.
It's free. All you need to do is download their app or visit their website, which is anchor.fm.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
They will literally take care of all of the distribution services, so all you have to do on the day of is hit publish. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone using an app or computer if you'd much rather just use the website.
You can even make money from your podcast without even having one listener.
Yeah, without a single listener, they'll find sponsors that are willing to give you a chance and give you a shot at making money.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So all we ask is that if you have a story to tell or a message to share, that you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. When I had an idea to start a podcast, I had no idea where to start. But I had listened to Candace and Casey's Couples Therapy, and they had mentioned an app called Anchor. And I was really intrigued to see how really simple it could be to make a podcast.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means that you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad.
So, if you always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's Anchor, as in ANCHOR.FM/START to join me in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. I can't wait to hear your guys' podcasts. Hello? Is anyone still listening? This is another episode of Young and in Love podcast. I am your host, Josh, in case you forgot my name, since it's been so long. And I'm here with my wife.
Taylor, that's my name, in case you forgot.
It's been a minute. It's been a while. It's been a couple of days and a couple of months. If you actually read the titles of the episodes and you don't just hit play, I'm going to label this episode or call this episode Decompress, because it's basically what we're doing after such a wild and weary summer we had, which was crazy.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to know how crazy it was, we literally just had to go through our calendar to remind ourselves what happened this summer.
Yeah.
It went by so fast.
So any of you still hanging with us and still subscribe to the podcast, we appreciate it because you're amazing.
The homies.
Yeah, the real homies. And you're probably just as surprised as we are to have a episode coming out today. So we're all in this together. We have a lot to cover today. Basically everything that has happened in September and October, and then this beginning part of November. So we wrote it all down on a list so that we wouldn't forget anything. But the main thing that has been accompanying most of our time and our conversations and our outlooks on the future is a big announcement that's for you, the listeners. because if anyone follows us on Instagram, then they already should know. And if you don't know, this is also a shocker. And maybe you can go and scroll through our news feeds or our Instagram feeds. But Tay's going to take this one away because she's the main load bearer.
If you haven't guessed already, we're pregnant. Baby Anderson will be arriving in May, probably. Most likely. When in May? Not sure. So, they give us a date, but you know how that goes. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we found out in early September. We found out the same, day that Hurricane Dorian, not Hurricane Dorian, came through Jacksonville.
Yeah, the not hurricane.
Yeah.
The one that everyone prepared for 4 days in advance and then stopped in the Bahamas and then stayed in the Bahamas. Poor Bahamas.
Just got rain like any other Florida day.
Yeah, it was any other Florida rain. In our part of Jacksonville, I guess there are other parts of Jacksonville that got pretty windy, but
yeah, that's true.
For the most part, we were a not Hurricane Dorian recipients.
Yeah. Found out, and that was I think we found out pretty early. I think I was 4 weeks exactly. And I felt great up until 8 weeks. And then at 8 weeks, I was sick. All day, every day. I was tired. I think I probably slept anywhere and everywhere. If I wasn't doing something, I was laying on the couch, sleeping, or laying down because I was so tired. Right? Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was that up until probably a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And then right at 12 and a half weeks, I started to feel a little bit normal. I don't know what is normal anymore, but I feel better now that I'm in my second trimester. I'm skipping ahead. I should stop talking.
You're skipping way ahead. Yeah. You're skipping way ahead. Okay, we're going to stick by months. So, rewind back to September, not Hurricane Dorian. I figured out in September that grad school is hard. Who would have thought? I pretty much coasted my way through undergrad. Didn't really ever try. Showed up to class when I wanted to. Took every test and passed. I never really had any issues with any classes. Grad school's not the same. If I don't put in the time during the week, I am incredibly behind and incredibly frustrated with myself and incredibly stressed. Just trying to keep up and get everything done when it needs to get done and prioritizing certain things over another. So yeah, grad school's hard. Anybody who's thinking about doing grad school, just remember, it's not undergrad and it's hard. At least architecture school is. But luckily, in these next couple months, as we go over them, I'll figure it out how to do the grad school, at least to an extent. This semester, I've pretty much sort of cashed in on, and I'm just have accepted my fate. But know that after the break and into next semester, I really need to change my lifestyle and change my priorities so that I can stay ahead of the game, because being behind is not fun and I don't like it at all. That's grad school. We already talked a little bit about Boston in the last episode, so if you missed that, feel free to scroll all the way back to August. So that you can, yeah, it's only one episode. And I think if we've learned anything from the promises that I've made in the past, is just don't expect an episode. And when you least expect an episode, it'll be posted. Yeah. I used to promise we're going to do this every week. And I was okay, we'll do this every 2 weeks. And I was okay, I really think I've got it now. And I just haven't been able to get it. So now I think every time that I feel like podcasting now, we're going to sit down, we're going to record the podcast, because that's that. I think at some point in September or October, we also recorded some audio in the car. And unfortunately, I didn't know that the Anchor podcast limits your audio recording to 1 hour.
Do we still have that?
I've still got it. It's saved, but I just haven't posted it because we talked about pregnancy in it.
Oh, yeah.
So I was waiting to post this episode before I posted that one. So be expecting another episode within a week.
The quality will not be like this, just FYI.
Yeah, we just recorded it in the car with the phone in between us. So I'm not even sure that audio came through. Okay, I haven't listened back.
So maybe it won't.
Yeah, so yeah, again, don't expect the episode, but we may just write down the questions and re-record one. Because it was good conversation, so...
Juicy conversation.
Oh, yeah, it was at the end. It was juicy enough to get some people excited for when we finally got home. Anyways, Tay, you're still a student. Any update on when you'll ever graduate?
I'm still in school. It sucks. But there is a light in the tunnel. A very, very long tunnel. Seems to be going for forever.
Yeah.
But right now that tunnel is ending in 2021. Hopefully 2020. Maybe, if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But probably not because student teaching. So, yeah.
Nice.
And, yeah.
Okay, I signed up for volleyball in September. So I signed up for a beach volleyball league with a guy from work and a couple of his friends. So that was September. But as of this recording, I have signed up, played, and finished a volleyball season. And we finished in second place. We lost to the championship game in 3 games. So that was a tough day, but also a really great run for a lot of the players that were on our team. They all played really well. And we just simply got beat. It was as simple as that. The other team was better than we were. So it was really good to be back on a volleyball team and to be like playing competitively and not with people who just play ping pong with the volleyball, which is always exciting. Tay, another big announcement for you.
I got a new job. I work... Josh is playing with his cookie pouch.
Yeah, I was itching.
I thought you were squeezing.
No.
Anyways, sorry. I got a new job. I work at a dental office. And I am a lot of things. I'm the receptionist. I'm the financial coordinator. I do insurance stuff. So I guess my manager calls me an office administrator. So I guess that's what I am. And the dentist is a prosthodontist. She's a prosthodontist.
A prosthodontist.
Yeah, try saying that fast. I can hardly say it at all. Yeah, so that's cool. It's pretty cool. We do a lot. We pretty much everything. But yeah, I enjoy it.
Do you think you're actually going to keep this job?
Yes. Yes, this job will be a job I do long term. We've already talked about maternity leave with the dentist and my boss and my coworkers. There's a pediatrician up the stairs from our office. Talked about maybe that being our kid's doctor just because it's convenient. And there's a daycare pretty close to work as well. So,
yeah, all positive notes. For the Mormons out there, excuse me, old habits die hard. For fellow Latter-day Saints out there who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was really excited. I don't know if I ever shared this in the podcast, but I was super excited because I got called as the Ward Young Men's president, which for anyone who isn't a member of our church, basically just means I was asked to be the youth pastor at our local congregation. So I was in charge of working with 20 or so odd young men between the ages of 12 and 18. I was super excited for that calling and got called that responsibility. I received that responsibility probably at the beginning of August, a little bit before then. So probably July, but then the whole month of July we were traveling. You guys know that. And if you don't know that, you missed a couple episodes, so you can go back and listen to those. And then August was crazy with grad school and being in Boston for 10 days. And when I finally got back, I was like, yes, it's time to go. And then we went in September. And then the first week of October, they said, bye. And our church restructured its organization, and they no longer have that responsibility for volunteers. So I'm no longer the young men's president or the youth pastor. I just help our pastor, or bishop as we call him, with the youth. So he took over my role, and now I am just his subordinate. And he tells me what I should do. That wraps up September. I mean, I had a birthday. I'm now a quarter of a century old.
Whoa.
25 years. I still have at least 3 more lifetimes to live. Well, if I'm planning on being like 100 years old, maybe not. I have at least 2 more lifetimes to live to get to 50 and then 75. Yeah. Subconsciously being optimistic. And we went to a Brazilian steakhouse that we really liked the first time we went. And then the second time we went,
it was just okay.
It was just okay.
I'm not too sure. I don't know if like I didn't like it just because like I'm pregnant and like I can't eat like things cooked the way I want them to be cooked. So it's like wasn't as good for me, but
I could eat it any way I wanted, and I didn't find it too appealing. So that might be the last time we go. Yeah.
But the good news is there's like 3 other Brazilian steakhouses in Jacksonville, so
yeah.
Maybe we'll try another one, but maybe not.
So that pushed us into October. And in October, you talk about your pregnancy stuff that happened in October. Oh, it says that you started feeling growth. That like.
Oh, yeah. So, like October, I still felt sick. But like I also started like, I feel like I was bloated, but like the bloat never went away. It like only got bigger. So I guess that could be argued just to say that I'm growing. So that's like the first time I like noticed that, oh, I'm not just bloated after I eat. I'm bloated when I wake up. I'm bloated after I go to the bathroom. I'm bloated, really bloated and big at the end of the day. And now I just get bigger as the day goes on. So that's sort of interesting. And I've only gotten bigger since then. So that's cool. But yeah, at the end of October, I entered the 2nd trimester. And like I said, I am starting to feel whatever this new normal is. I'm not so tired anymore. Although the exhaustion will hit me randomly throughout the day. And then I just feel like I need a nap right then and there. I know like emotions are like a big thing for like pregnant people and like mood swings and all that stuff. I don't think it's really been that bad. It's just been like, I think a lot of stuff is like bothering me or like going on all at one time. The emotions sort of hit me and then I cry. Like, this is in October, but this afternoon I like came home from watching a bunch of kids yesterday and then like all night and then this afternoon, and I was super tired. I just didn't sleep well. I was super hungry. They didn't have a whole lot of food for me to eat, and then I don't know. Then I saw Josh and I just started crying.
I have that effect on people. They just look at me with my November look and they just cry. We'll get to that in November.
But yeah, and then we heard the heartbeat for the first time in October, and that was really cool. And then we had another ultrasound, and that was the 3rd time we got to see our baby, but our baby actually looked like a baby.
Yeah, and not just a kidney bean.
Yeah, and not just like a dot on the screen.
I have this joke that I think I want to play on our kid for like years. where I just always call our kid. Just whenever I call their name, instead of calling their name, I just call them kid. And then I'm going to continually call them kid until they ask me why I always call them kid. And then I'm going to explain to them it's because the first time I saw them, they looked like a kidney bean because we saved that picture. And then I'll be able to show them the picture and then they'll be like, Dad. And then the joke will be over. But it's going to be my longest running joke.
Longest dad joke.
And I think it'll be so funny. So funny.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how funny it'll be.
But baby A so far looks like they're going to be tall. Has very long legs. And
hey, that's November.
The hiccups.
That's November.
No, that's October.
Really?
Yeah. We had that ultrasound in October.
Oh, we wrote it in November.
Maybe it was November. It was. It was the beginning of November. It's okay.
Yeah.
When we had the ultrasound, our baby had the hiccups. It was pretty cute. After I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Oh no, what's wrong?"
Yeah, it looked
Just
really
the
funny because when they hiccup, like the fetus, when it hiccups, like the whole body hiccups. I guess we sort of do too when we hiccup.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. You realize something new every day. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break and we'll be right back with you guys. Okay, my parents came to visit. I think that was before we went to visit your family, right? I think it was the weekend before. Weekend after.
Before.
Anyways, my parents came to visit us in Jacksonville. First parental units to visit Jacksonville. So score 1 to the Andersons, Renegers 0. We've had plenty of siblings come and visit us. So Kaylee, Taylor's little sister, came to visit us multiple times now. And my sister Stephanie and her husband, Ilya, came to visit us when Toy Story Land opened. But yeah, first parental units. So they came and we went to Amelia Island. It was pretty rainy that day. My dad and I were supposed to golf, but it rained like crazy. So they shut the golf course and then we ended up golfing on that Monday after instead.
You went to a really good restaurant though called...
The Salty Pelican.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was. And it's really easy to find because you just walk to that would be the West Bay.
The marina.
Yeah, in the marina. And then there's giant pelican feet painted on the sidewalk. So you just follow those and they take you to the Salty Pelican.
And it has like thousands of reviews and like still has like 4.5 stars.
Yeah, 4.7, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's really good. And it got our approval as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, then the next weekend we went to Columbia, South Carolina, and we visited my uncle, went to the South Carolina State Fair, went to the temple in South Carolina, which was really nice, and just hung out with the fam. That was fun.
Yeah. We went because of some unfortunate circumstances, which I don't think have been resolved.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he listens to this podcast, but yeah, unfortunate in their family circumstances, but we'll leave it at that because I guess we should be somewhat respectful. I was going to tell you all about it, but keep the gossip down, even though everyone already knows about it. Everyone that matters.
That's fine.
Okay, we heard the heartbeat in October. Tay talked about that. And then we wrapped up October on October 31st in our couples
Halloween.
Oh gosh. Costume was Pooh Bear was Tay because she's got a belly. And I was Christopher Robin. Sort of. I was wearing Christopher Robin's clothes, but something happened.
What?
Something happened. Like it was on a Friday, right? Yeah, it was on a Friday. So we were in a super rush when I got home from work. Huh. So I didn't shave.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I was like, I had a lot of facial hair, and then like my hair was long, but I didn't have time to like sort of style it like Christopher Robin did. So I was just like an old man wearing Christopher Robin's clothes. You could sort of
get the point when he was standing next to me.
Yeah.
He had to be next to me.
Otherwise, I just looked like I was wearing cargo shorts and like a bright yellow shirt. And then we like handed out all our candy super fast because we just gave out handfuls of candy instead of pieces of candy. Because it only looked like there was like 20 kids at our church activity. And then there was a lot more than 20 kids. So it all worked out. Gus is snoring in the background. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. November. You can talk about your disappearing hair.
I chopped off 7 inches of my hair. That's a shock. No, it's been long overdue. My hair's dead. Just need to rip off the Band-Aid.
Reset.
But I actually think it's pretty cute. I like it.
It is very cute. It is very cute. You've styled it every day, though. So I'll have to wait to make my verdict on which one I like better.
I'm not going to like it when it's not styled.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm just going to leave my verdict until the day that you like either don't have time to style it or don't feel like styling it.
Or like,
and then I'll make my verdict.
If I don't style it, then I'm going to braid it or like put it in a ponytail or like something. Like, I don't think I'll just like leave it down, not styled.
Oh.
Like ever.
No. Well, I guess since it's so short, it shouldn't take too long to style.
Yeah, it doesn't. This morning, it only took me like 5 minutes to touch these up. So tomorrow will probably be the same. And like, since I don't wash my hair that often anyways, thank you, dry shampoo. It'll always be somewhat styled. Like as long as I style it after I wash it.
That's true. That's true. Tay gave this one away earlier that our baby has long legs. It was odd. But I dropped my first baby. They had this little like silicone like mimic of how big the fetus was. So I was rolling it from like one hand to the other. And then I just rolled it right out of one hand onto the floor. So I dropped my first baby while it was in fetus. Get at me, world. Beat that record. I dropped my first baby while it was in fetus.
No, but that was a really cool appointment. They recorded the heartbeat for us, and they stuffed the recording of the heartbeat into a little like fluffy penguin that our dog wants to kill. But it's really cute, and if you squeeze it, it has a heartbeat. And I think the plan is to give that to our baby for at least like first stuffed animal.
Yeah, probably while it's in the hospital, maybe.
We'll see.
And then once they actually understand English and like know what's going on in the world, we'll be like, look, this is your heartbeat when you were inside of your mother. Then this is pretty cool. I have a pet caterpillar living on my upper lip.
And more shocking, I sort of like it.
Tay kind of likes it. So I'm growing a mustache for Movember. And an even more important thing is that I'm doing a fundraiser that I haven't published anything about, and it's already the 9th. So I've got now 20 days instead of 30 days to raise a significant amount of money for men's health.
Just putting that there, that I have reminded him several times.
Yeah.
About it too. Yeah,
and I just haven't posted it. So this is technically the first post about it, but I'm going to post something tomorrow too, which is Sunday, the 10th. But if you're not following the podcast's Instagram page, it's obviously instagrams.com/YoungLovePC, PC for podcast. So Young Love PC. That's actually on all social media platforms, minus Twitter, because I no longer use it. I don't really think it was ever going to work well for me. And also I don't really use my personal Twitter anymore. So that's that. If you want to follow the podcast on social media and get regular updates, Instagram's the place, and then Facebook just gets duplicates of whatever we post on Instagram. So if you like Facebook and you want to stick to Facebook, you can also search Young Love PC, and we've got a page there that you can like, and that's the one that actually gets the most likes all the time. surprisingly. Don't know how people find us, but it's a different story. So I told you about Instagram because on this episode's post, you can swipe left to see a different photo. And I'm going to try and put my QR code on that photo slides to my website that I'm doing the fundraising through. So that website is called Movember.com, and they are the largest contributor of research funds specifically tailored to men's health. So for those of you that don't know, November is typically No Shave November, and you do No Shave November in order to raise awareness for men's health. It started out as prostate cancer, but now it has just transitioned to general men's health. So there's still a lot of people who do the prostate cancer stuff, but I wanted to particularly focus on mental health and emotional intelligence because so oftentimes people differentiate or separate emotional intelligence from masculinity. And I saw a really great post the other day, funny enough, on Twitter, about a guy who said, and I paraphrase, masculinity is not under attack, it is evolving. And if you can't deal with the evolution from nonsensical, unemotional to aware and compassionate, then you are free to stay a barbarian. That's basically what he said. Anyways, I totally agree with that statement because I don't think masculinity needs to be macho man-esque type stuff that we've taught for so long. At least since the 60s, like post-World War II, has always sort of been like men need to just buckle down, pull up your bootstraps and provide for your family. And I think, yes, we do need to do that, but we don't need to be barbaric about it. We don't need to be apathetic about it. So, which brings us to heading to Ohio for Thanksgiving. Why are we heading to Ohio for Thanksgiving, Taylor?
It's a long story.
It's a long story, but we're only at 30 minutes, so you've got time.
So my sister, we were going to help her fly in to come visit us for Thanksgiving because we didn't want to spend the holidays alone. And the family that we have that is the closest to us. They were going to Ohio for Thanksgiving, so they weren't going to be available. But then my sister couldn't.
No.
What happened?
No, we were going to fly your sister down. So then we asked your parents if they would come too, and they straight up said no.
Oh yeah.
Now, like Taylor's mom's a nurse, so most likely, like she couldn't get the time off.
Yeah.
She would have had to work some holiday, and it would have been worth it for her.
And my dad's just picky about money, so
he's not even picky about money. He's annoying about money. So take that, Scott.
He knows it.
So the closest family we have is my sister and brother-in-law, Stephanie and Ilya, who live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is 5 hours away. So we asked them what they were doing for Thanksgiving, and they said that they're driving back to my parents' house because my brother, who goes to school in Idaho, is driving back to my parents' house in Ohio with his girlfriend.
That none of us have met yet.
That none of us have met. Well, I think Elizabeth has met her.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, none of us on the podcast have met. So we said, And Taylor's mom wanted us to just drive up to Cleveland. But strangely enough, from Jacksonville, it's equidistant to drive to Cleveland as it is to Cincinnati, even though they're 4 hours apart.
And we're going to be with my family for sooner than his family anyways, because we were spending the week of Christmas with my parents and then spending the week of New Year's with Josh's parents.
Yeah. So if Taylor just said, well, if we're going to be driving, no, I actually brought it up. I said, if we're going to be driving to Ohio, I'd much rather drive to Cincinnati to be there when my brother's there from Idaho, with his girlfriend, because we're going to miss him at New Year's. He's like, the majority of my family's just not going to be there at New Year's.
Yeah, but everyone's going to be there.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
So then once we said, oh, Mom, mark us down for Thanksgiving in our family group me, then Elizabeth was like, oh, well, if everybody's going, like, I'm going to convince Jeff that we should go too. And Jeff loves Elizabeth unconditionally. So any suggestion or idea that she has, Jeff is almost always game for it. So they're going to be driving from Utah to Ohio. My brother's driving from Idaho. My two youngest brothers already live with my parents. My sister lives just north of them. And we're coming from Florida and North Carolina. So it's going to be a party on Thanksgiving. And hopefully we can do something with the podcast over Thanksgiving. It's going to be really tough because we already have like a packed schedule, but hopefully we can at least get maybe some quotes from people, things they're thankful for, little things like that. Maybe qualities they're most thankful for in their significant other.
Oh, there you go.
And if we really get lucky, we may have a chance to sit down with my brother Nick and his girlfriend and see sort of the early stages of dating and what they've had to go through and their story. That way I can actually understand who this Carrie chick is and why Nick likes her so much. All right. Last update.
News.
It's you. It's you.
Because it's mine.
I mean, we both bought it. And technically I was the buyer more times than you were the buyer.
Anyways.
And you were the co-buyer, so.
We bought a car. Well, we signed a paper.
That says we're going to buy a car.
Be paying for a car.
Yeah.
But we got a car that's big enough for our growing family. And it's really nice. I like it a lot. It's a 2013 Ford Edge, right?
Yep.
Yep. Black seats. That's
silver.
Nice. Drives really nice. That's nice.
Yep. And Eve is still kicking. She's still going well. Our 2003 Nissan Altima. I mean, going well is a nice way of saying it.
She's alive.
Yeah. She's got her episodes. She gets us from point A to point B, but the other day I was driving home from work and on my way to pick Taylor up, and I was just doing some daydreaming and thinking about sort of the fact that we drive a lot of places and we go to visit my family, and we have a dog who's 75 pounds. He's a big dog. He likes to roam from window to window, and then there's a baby that's coming in May, so I was worried that with a car seat, he might try and climb over the car seat with the baby in it, and then he wouldn't have enough room on the back seat. And then I thought, wait a second, I don't even know if I have room for the dog. If there's a dog and a baby and luggage and a dog bed and food, and all of a sudden it was just this realization that our Eve is just not going to fit our new family come May.
We have grown out of Eve.
So we're in a really good financial position now that Taylor's working full time. We won't be in such a great financial position when she's on maternity leave. So we decided to just go ahead and get the car now, so that we can
pay it off.
Yep, paid off as much as we can in the next 6 months. So there it is. We got a brand new car. It's really nice. It has only had one owner, 80,000 miles. It was an elderly man who had it beforehand, who bought it from a dealership, then sold it back to the same dealership. So it's like been in very minimal change of hands, and it should be a nice car. And I'm just excited to have a car that I don't have to work on.
Yeah.
because
that is going to run and run well.
Yeah, and it'll run for at least like a year and a half or 2 years before I really got to start changing anything on it. So that's exciting. And it's exciting to be back on the podcast. I've wanted to like record this episode for a couple weeks now, and it's just been too crazy. So I sort of mentioned it before, but I'm just not going to promise when the next episode's going to come out. And it might just turn out that that's the way to go, because then when we have time, we can record it. And when we don't have time, I won't feel terrible about not recording it. And I don't feel the pressure. So you got your 3-month update, but I will promise you that it'll be once a month at the very least.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
At the very least, it'll be once a month so that we're getting a good documentation of what we're doing and what's going on, especially now that Taylor's changing on a week-to-week basis. So it's exciting.
Big things.
Huge things.
And big Taylor.
Yeah, and Taylor went maternity shopping and got maternity clothes, but they had a 7-month belly that she had to wear.
It was so funny.
But she looked so cute with a big belly. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be a dad. I'm excited for her to call me daddy. Taylor, that is. Anyways. Thanks again for listening. Do you want to give this outro? Tell everybody how much you appreciate them.
Yeah, if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate it, because I guess since I'm the one that's changing, you'd almost put the blame on me just because I haven't been feeling well for like 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, life is changing quite rapidly. Time is going by also very rapidly. But yeah, we appreciate all the support nonetheless. And until next time.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Peace. Ciao. Sayonara. Konnichiwa.
See you in December, probably.
Later, alligator. In a while, crocodile.
All right, that's a wrap.
Okay.
Bye.